Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another LiveWire Sports Media. All right, so it looks like the WNBA has a $40 million problem, a problem that seems like it's not going to go away anytime soon because they don't have no money to pay back to the NBA, in which the NBA is getting, well, not the NBA, but the NBA owners are getting tired and weary and looking for compensation. Now, there was an article that was out today by Athlon Sports, and I'm going to dig into it just a little bit because there's a whole lot to unpack, especially the last couple of days dealing with stuff that Jason Whitlock said about Elon Musk, the Unrivaled. And so all of this is kind of like tied to craziness that's going on with the WNBA. We all know that the WNBA has been carried by the NBA for over 30-something years. And the NBA has kept throwing money in, and haven't got any profit back from it. Now, and to this year, with the new arrival of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Raquel Jackson, and this rookie class, it seems that the WNBA still has not made a way to dig themselves out of the hole. Now, it was reported earlier this year that the WNBA would lose $50 million, but now it comes to be that they're losing $40 million on top. Now, like I said, with the arrival of this rookie class leading by Caitlin Clark, with market shares, viewerships, travel, all of this stuff, merchandise soaring, going up, it led to them getting a new CBA, which will kick in around 2026. Now, the WNBA players have an option to opt out this current CBA around November 1st. And the reason why they want to opt out because they feel like they want more money. Now, how can you get more money if you're not putting out great product? And with the commissioner, Kathy Engelberg, she wants to continue to create more teams for the league when you already can't manage the 12 that you already have so far. And this just constantly continue to dig yourself in a financial deficit that you really don't have the luxury to get out of until years later down the line. Now, again, Adam Silver and the NBA has been carrying this charity case of the WNBA and this band of misfits for years. And the owners with looking for money to get back and looking for compensation, which they're not going to get to. Now, do they want a strike to happen? Maybe, maybe not. But would it be a good idea for the players to have a strike? Because going into the news, if they opt out, they could sign a 1-year deal for the 2025 season, and then when the new CBA kicks in 2026, they could sign a longer term deal, which will garner them more money in the down the line. Which that's going to create another problem because the fact of the matter is you're going to have 2 more expansion teams that come in. So in 2026, you're going to have a field of free agents, and where Clayton Clark and Leo Boston and Angel Reese, let me see. I do believe Leo Boston will be a free agent in 2026. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese will be free agents in 2027. But with all of these new teams, you kind of to me, I feel like you're stretching the league too thin because you already have 144 players, and you really not going to get any more players on top of that unless some players from overseas come. You might have some players that haven't played, got cut, or whatever the case might be. But you don't want to continue to add on to a product that's already been struggling for years. Why not just add one more team like the Golden State Valkyries and then allow that team to grow within a 2 year to 3 year span, and kind of like hold like a I guess you could create like a G League like the NBA does, and have like players that didn't get drafted, they could play in the G League and develop, and then when you need them, you can bring them up, especially when it's injury or roster change or whatever the case might be. So there's many ways you could do this, but the WNBA is not bright enough to figure this out because that light, they so used to being carried by the NBA, and they want to sit back and whine, complain, and have these woke agendas or use political tools just to navigate their way to feel like they are valid to fair compensation. And I don't think that's fair because if the NBA was to drop them right now, the NBA will crash and burn because they don't have the financial backing to stand on their own. And this is why the owners in the NBA are getting tired and say, look, hey, we already been carrying this league for over something 30 plus years. How is we gonna get our money back? You continually creating teams. They already paid what I think 15 million for the Toronto team, and I think another 5 for the Golden State team. So they're paying all this money for expansion teams, but at the same time, how are they going to get their money back? Because like I said, the WNBA is in so much of a financial stand that is continuously creating a problem. Now, I'm going to an article, like I said, with LiveWire Sports, and I'm gonna put out what some of the stuff that they say. All right, so the WNBA has made a lot of progress in recent years, but it's still a long way off of being profitable. The most recent projection has the WNBA losing over 40 million this season, and the word on the street is that the investors are getting concerned. Now, the NBA owners have invested hundreds of millions into this WNBA since the funding in 1996, and the league has gone to great lengths to promote the women's game. Beginning in 2026, the WNBA will get up to $2.2 billion over 11 years to fund operations, pay the players, and promote the product. Now, before I continue on, that's all because they have a new TV rights deal. Now, let's not get it twisted because Caitlin Clark was the force behind all of this because she was behind the scenes trying to get the players paid more money to when they go to travel to visit the teams, but they didn't want to. The CBA didn't want to go for that because the fact of the matter is that they didn't want her to have the ideal, but they want to come up. But there was more ways for them to get paid instead of going out and playing overseas. Even though they have this Unrivaled league starting in January with founded by Nafisha Carter and Brianna Stewart, but Caitlin Clark was trying to be behind the scenes to help the league, but they didn't want that help. So you have ways to make money for yourself, but you continue to shoot yourself in the foot along the way because you too damn stubborn and too selfish to realize that, hey, everything is going to benefit you if you just, continue to put great product on the court. So, and with the market, like I said, with the marketing and the viewerships that came along with Caitlin Clark, along with Angel Reese and them, but Caitlin Clark being the head figure of it, the commissioner for the WNBA, Kathy Engelberg, she really doesn't know how to market the product. I mean, you can't market a product by creating more teams. And this is where the WNBA had to lose a lot of their expansion teams back in the day, like the Detroit Shock. I think a team was in Charlotte, the Miami Soul. There was a Portland team. Then you had Seattle relocated from San Antonio to Seattle. So you had to do all of this influx stuff because you didn't have great product on the court. Now you're coming back and try to recreate all of this all over again. And if you don't have the backing the way you need to, then guess what's going to happen? Everything is going to fold like it was before in the past. Now let me continue. So, but in every year of its existence, the WNBA has lost money and is on track to stay that way for several more years to come. With expenses high and the revenue so low, it's going to be hard for even the best of the teams to break even. And this is why I feel like the WNBA players need to realize that, yeah, you're getting a new CBA, but you're going to get more money to pay on your pay, but you still in a financial rut because you have to pay your subsidizer, which is the NBA. And they pretty much going to get almost about 60 to 7% of what's going to be in the new CBA to really, I guess you could say, ease the blow of what they had been losing for the WNBA for years. But the good news is that things appear to be trending up for women's basketball as a whole. For the first time in years, the WNBA is a popular topic of conversation, and that have a class of interesting and popular stars to help draw attention to the league. So with that being said, yeah, the popularity of Caitlin Clark, the popularity of what she has brought to the league with her fans, the popularity of what Angel Reese and her popularity has brought to the league. Those are two biggest superstars, with Caitlin Clark having the most notoriety of all. But they have brought something to the league that the league have never seen, and the league was not prepared for it. They was not prepared for this storm to come in so quickly. They felt like, okay, you know what? It's like being in a relationship and it's all new and fresh. And at the end of the day, oh, well, I'm comfortable. I ain't got to do too much. It's like you could be out there working all day and you come home, you're looking for a home cooked meal, but there's nothing there waiting on you. Just the same empty cabinet all the time. And this is what the WNBA and these players are. They just sitting back complaining and want more money, but they fail to realize the stuff that they doing to their league is hurting the league. And if the owners say, look, hey, and we want to pull back, what can Adam Silver do? He can't do nothing, because the fact of the matter is Adam Silver is nothing like David Stern. If David Stern was living today, guess what? He would have capitalized the minute Caitlin Clark came out of college. He would have capitalized on that. All of them foreign players that, like the Gabby Williams and the Emma Morrison, all of them that's playing overseas, they would have been in the NBA. They would have been getting paid instantly. The thing about it is, David Stern was a marketing genius. And that's how, when Michael Jordan came into the league and the Dream Team came about for the Olympics, they was able to market that team for China. They was able to be a global success. That's why the NBA is such a global entity around the world, because you have different players from all around the world that's now playing in the NBA, and they get to play for their home country in the off season or during the Olympic times. The WNBA doesn't have that, because the fact of the matter is that these women that's in the WNBA is too selfish and too understanding. And one thing, I don't take this the wrong way when I'm saying this directly to women, is that women can't get along with other women. They get jealous and envy, and then they get catty, and then they feel like everything about them is deserving. When if you're not really putting in the work like you're supposed to, Diane Taurasi been in the league. She's 42, about to retire. And as great as a talent she was in college when she came into the WNBA, if her stardom didn't push the league then, would you think that someone like an Asia Wilson is going to push the league when she's not really appealing to the public, especially when you have a bad attitude, a self-esteem, and you think you're entitled to everything. See, a business is run by how a person moves. You look at all the sports that have superstars. You take Michael Jordan for the NBA when he came out. You take Tiger Woods for golf. You take the Serena Williams, the Williams sisters for tennis and what they have done. You take Wayne Gretzky, what he did for hockey at that time. You look at what baseball was, from Babe Ruth to Hank Aaron to Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, now Aaron Judge, now you got Shohei Ohtani. These sports know how to even I'm gonna give you a better example. Look at Roger Goodell, what he has done to the NFL right now. The NFL is on a global stance because you know why? Now you had the XSL that came out, you had the UFFL came out, and now they both merged together and brought their teams together. And now you have other opportunities for players to get into the NFL. And quite naturally, after all, that's going to be like almost like how NFL Europe was back in the day. But the NFL has found a way to monopolize the market of the players that they have. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Josh Allen, you got Joe Burrow. Now you got young talents like Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, all of these young quarterback talents in here, wide receivers like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. You got all of these these guys that's recognized. Jacksonville Jaguars every year play overseas in London. Matter of fact, this is probably their second game this weekend playing over there. They just played over there last weekend. They're playing over there again. They already played in Mexico. I think they played in Australia. I'm not sure. But Roger Goodell, as much as I do not like Roger Goodell that much, he knows how to market. Look what they do with the halftime show for the Super Bowl. Always bring excitement. They changed the landscape for the Pro Bowl into, like some competition thing. That's how you market. You market your stars. You get your best stars. You get the Patrick Mahomes. You get the Josh Allen. You get the Lamar Jacksons out there and everything. Even Aaron Rodgers, as old as he is, he's still somewhat marketable because he's just been in the league so long. So this is why I feel like the WNBA needs to continue to do this thing, because it's going to, you need a new commissioner, a commissioner that understands marketability and how to market your stars. If you market your stars will be able to and get rid of all of that political, that wokeness out of the league, and then focus on the stars and brand them the right way where it could be a successful product in longevity wise. Because if you don't, this league could easily be doomed. And it's on its tailspin now to being doomed because of the financial burden that the NBA has to continue to keep up with this misfit of a league. Now, it also goes to show say that in 2023-24 campaign brought new life into the WNBA, and we saw the league reach out to unprecedented levels of popularity, both among the fans and the NBA media. Going into the new season, the WNBA has a good chance to carry the momentum and reach historical levels of engagement across social media and viewing platforms. And that's all because of Caitlin Clark. If you think about it, Caitlin Clark home and away games almost average almost the same. Her away games average more than her home games. And she every time she hits the TV screen, it's always a million viewership. The first time she went to to New York to play the Liberty had a first $2 million gate. Same thing with the Washington Mystics, selling out all of these arenas, packed arenas, over 20,000 plus. There's no player in the WNBA can garner that kind of sellout. Now the New York Liberty has their own fan base, so that's New York because that's how New York rocks. But at the same time, if you think New York was not into the finals and you had the Minnesota Lynx, probably the Aces, you think you would still get the million views? No, I don't think so. So now with the $40 million hole to make up, it could be a while before the owners start to see any return on their investment. In the meantime, we could expect Adam Silver and the NBA sector to do everything they can to promote and support the WNBA. That's the purpose. Because if the owners want to know where is the money going? And Adam Silver seems like he doesn't want to tell them where the money going, or he don't want to say, hey, this is the real reason what's going on. Because it's like he's trying to tie everything with the WNBA into the NBA, which the owner. One thing I could tell you this, if this was the NFL owners, Adam Silver would have had an answer. Because see, the NFL owners, they pay Roger Goodell. And if Roger Goodell ain't doing what he's supposed to do by the owner standards, guess what? He has to answer to them. And that's what I feel like the commissioner in the NBA needs to do. He needs to answer to the owners. Now, I don't know if that's how it is now or whatever the case may be, but that's what I'm just saying. And now, like I said, it's, thanks to the newfound popularity, but even though Caitlin Clark and them is not enough, it's not enough. And this goes leading to my other part of my video, because with the upcoming Unrivaled League, and Breonna Stewart and the Fisher College trying to go out here and create another league to get players played while having to go overseas, why they don't try to invest more into their own league and help build that league even better, where you could probably get paid more money instead of creating this another entity outside of everything and saying, hey, oh, you know what? Well, if the WNBA ain't gonna pay us, then we're gonna create this other league. But you still have a financial backing by TNT and everything, but you still need one piece, and that's Caitlin Clark. And if Caitlin Clark don't play, then guess what? That league does not exist. And see, it goes back to the WNBA again. Kathy, as Ben Daniels called her, Kathy Braindead Engelberg, she needs to really say, you know what? She needs to push back on the players in the league. Say, hey, this is what we need to do. We need to stop marketing certain players. We need to focus on getting Caitlin Clark more marketable in the league. Everything has to be, beneficial so it could uplift the league a little bit more. Because you got all these players that have been in the league for over 5, 6, or 7 years, and nobody knows who they are now until Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark came into the league. But the fact of the matter is that this league is such a failed product, and you gotta. It's funny because I thought about this today. Is that this league could file for bankruptcy because that's how big a debt they are in. This league might end up filing for bankruptcy because they in such of a big debt. They have to wait almost another year to really start seeing revenue come in because of the TV deal of the new CBA. And that's not going to be enough because it could be several years down the line before everything starts to balance out. Now, if the owners say, hey, we don't want to wait that long, and we decide to say, you know what? we need to pull out. The NBA needs to stand on their own. Guess what's going to happen? The NBA is going to fold, and then there's not going to be no league. But what if Elon Musk was to step up and buy the WNBA? Now, there has been talk, and shout out to Miss Adrian Ross because she put this out also, and Jason Whitlock touched on this about creating a whole new league around Caitlin Clark. And now I have to agree with Adrian Ross because she said that she don't believe that Caitlin Clark will lead the league because the WNBA behind passion. And a lot of us say, hey, Caitlin needs to lead the league. She needs to, do this and do that. And I agree with her because Caitlin is not built like that. She's not going to lead something that she's been passionate enough to, unless her management team or her parents say, hey, you need to walk away from this. But if they support her wholeheartedly, she's going to stick it out. And she's tough as nails. Even though she's 22 and young, she's tough as nails. And when I listen to Miss Ross and I listen to Come On Podcast, I think he was the first one that talked about Elon Musk creating a whole new league around Caitlin Clark because Elon Musk is the one of the richest men in the world. And I think he's like 250 billion, where he could he makes more money than all 12 teams in the WNBA right now. So if the WNBA was to fold, instead of creating a whole new league, why not buy the WNBA and change the landscape of it and allow the WNBA to sit of its own entity? But there will be a whole lot of different things that need to change too, because Elon Musk he's about free speech. And guys like myself, Ben Daniels, Pope, Come On Podcast, Angel Ross, a couple other people that I follow, we like free speech where we could be able to not have to feel like we have to be scrutinized of what we say and critique it in a truthful way instead of having all these false narratives built around. I think it would be exceptional for Elon Musk to buy the WNBA instead of creating a whole new league. Now, I'm going to let you listen to what Jason Whitlock had to say. Then I'm going to come back and close out this argument on both sides.
This is an opportunity for us, to build a women's basketball league around Caitlin Clark. Who needs content? Who wants to build a platform that rivals YouTube? Who needs the proper content to drive enough interest so they can have a platform that rivals YouTube? Well, one of the richest men in the world, who's not named Rothschild, Elon Musk, he needs content for Twitter, which he's trying to turn into a rival for YouTube. Caitlin Clark is that content. Women's basketball is that content. What we need is an XX league.
So you hear what Jason Whitlock had to say. And this is my take on everything. With the situation going on with the WNBA right now, owing so much money to the NBA, if they don't be, even with the new CBA, if they're not able to, I say, offset these debts that they have with the NBA, and within I say a 5 to 7 year plan, because that's probably how long it's going to take. But you got to think about this. You got new rookies coming in that's going to benefit on the new CBA, which a better rookie contract then this year's rookie class and next year's your rookie class and this year's current rookie class. But then you're going to have to look at the current players that's in the league, such as that's on a rookie contract, like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Angel Reese. Can their salaries get bumped up with the new CBA taking place? Because they still will be on their rookie contract. Because if the new rookies come in and they get more money, then how it's going to benefit them? You know what I'm saying? So they have to figure it out and balance it out somehow. Because if the owners continue to get disgruntled about this situation, they say, look, we're going to pull out. And Adam Silver say, okay, don't do this where I fix it. He's going to have to make a boss decision of firing the commissioner in the WNBA, because you're going to have to play somebody that's a commissioner that knows how to market, that know how to boost the economy, how to market its players, its star players, not has-been players, star players in the league. You know what I'm saying? They have to be able to do a better job. They got to market everybody. They can't just market Angel Wilson, Angel Reese, and forget about Caitlin Clark, who is the sole economic booster of what the WNBA has seen right now so far. Because trust me, if Caitlin Clark never came into the WNBA, new record-breaking viewerships and ticket sales wouldn't even be happening. So you got a golden opportunity to say, hey, Adam Silver, Kathy Eagleberg, we need to get behind Caitlin Clark. We need to push this vessel. We need to do more. Honestly, I wouldn't even create no more expansion teams in the league, because all it's going to do is continue to take away from the new CBA money. And then if these teams are bad and is not entertaining, because the only time they're going to be good is when Caitlin Clark plays them and it comes to their hometown, because everybody wants to see Caitlin Clark. That's the only way he's going to survive, because they can't survive on their own and push better viewership than Caitlin Clark. You have star players that's in the league that is too dang on selfish to even realize what they need to do. So I know this was a long video, but I needed to get all of this content out because I had this Elon Musk situation on tap, and I didn't want to do 2 videos to it. And especially with this news with the WNBA owing the 40 million, in a 40 million hole, I want to say, and I needed to wrap all of this all in one, because I needed to tie everything together to bridge it to where it could be something that we never seen. Because this is what I believe. If the WNBA continues to go the way it's going to fold. It's going to fold. I don't see a bunch of these women going to the Unrivaled League and playing 3-on-3 for the rest of their life. They like competition. They like 5-on-5. And if Elon Musk if he comes to the table and say, hey, sit down with the owners, sit down with Adam Silver, say, look, I'll buy the league from you. Wherever the owners in debt is, I pay that off. But the league has to function under my watch, under my leadership. I want to replace your current commissioner, bring in somebody that knows financial situations and marketing in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Then start implementing different things to change out, to filter out, especially like all of this woke stuff, all of this political agenda stuff that goes on in the league that kind of like keeping the league from moving forward, because fans want to see great entertainment. That's what basketball is, entertainment for us. We want to see great storylines. We don't want to see negativity, whining, complaining women all the time because they feel like they ain't getting enough love. Well, guess what? Every other sport is the same way. You don't hear nobody whining, complaining all the time in front of a camera, having attitudes. You can't even talk to them because they have to have an attitude all the time. Nobody wants to deal with that all the time. They just want to see a great show. So let me know what you think about the WNBA financial situation. And please let me know, what do you think of the idea of Elon Musk buying the WNBA instead of creating a whole different league? Me personally, I think it would be a boss move of all boss moves if he was to buy. If I'm not mistaken, Jeff Bezos could do that too, because Jeff Bezos always wanted a pro football team. So why not him, Elon Musk? They all get together and say, hey, we just buy out the WNBA, and boom, guess what? You have a new refreshing product, and people will love to watch it more than what they're watching it now. So, hey, this your boy LiveWire Sports Media. As always, I tell you at the end of my video, you know what it is.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.